Why Cyberpunk Edge Runners is better than 80% of the animes of today. Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a great show. No one's willing to debate that. It has become a highly rated show with having an average of 8.3 rating on IMDb, with the highest rating episode being 9.1 and the lowest of 7.8. So overall, a great show with lots to love. I'm going to prove to you why it is better than most animes through plot, characters, and much more. The series ended within a good time frame, not dragging it on for more money, such as many other animes of today do. The cast for Cyberpunk mainly consists of David and Lucy, our main characters. Then the Edge Runners, Dorio, Maine, Pillar, Kiwi, and Rebecca. Throughout the series, we get more attached to these characters as we see them develop. For example, David has a traumatic backstory where his mom works tirelessly to help him live a better life, but ultimately dies in the first episode from a gang violence due to a gang-related accident. Then he gets bullied for his mom dying, which helps us empathize with him more. Then our second main character, Lucy, has a big dream to go to the moon and help David get into the Edge Runners group. The Edge Runners give us a sense of family that David had lost through the death of his mother. Throughout all their jokes and experiences they had together, they make into a family bond. Maine acts like a father to David, teaching him the ropes of how to be an edge runner. Then we have Rebecca, who is the older cousin that looks out for him, showing him affection and showing that he matters. Pilar is the crackhead cousin that you see from time to time, always making jokes and making sure everyone has a good time. Dorio shows David how to fight, and she's one of the strongest characters in the group. As each of the edge runners start to die off through their own means or through sorry accidents, we feel the pain of what it means to lose this as we watch David experience all this, showing even though they are criminals, murderers, thieves, we still feel a tinge of sadness when they die. Cyberpunk Edge Runners hits a lot of people emotionally through how we watch David lose everyone that he cared about, seeing how much the Edge Runners meant to David, then watch him grow up without any comfort is very emotional to people. To start the death count, we have Pilar. He was messing a man with cyberpsychosis. Cyberpsychosis is when you have so much cyberware added to you that it makes you start to go insane. He got shot in the head by this man. This is David's second time watching someone he cares about die. We get to feel the emotional impact of his death by having everything go in slow motion, with blood spraying everywhere, and David standing in place. We see him start to reel in his emotions afterward and steal his resolve. When they were having a gunfight with the man, David managed to hit him with the final blow. Then we have Maine that dies next. He starts to come to cyberpsychosis as he loses his mind. The team also starts to break down. We see that Kiwi got put out of commission because of him. Then Lucy had to take his spot because she did not want to. They argued a little bit, but in the end, Lucy does take Kiwi's spot in hacking into Takanakawa's mind. As the first wave of police arrives to save Takanakawa, Dorio dies, the Maine kills them all. He makes a giant bomb out of different explosives, then lays Dorio on top of it. We slowly see how Maine's mind starts to deteriorate, and then we get this scene of this man giving David his final speech to him. Maine tells David to keep running fast and to keep on living. As the enemies get closer, Maine blows up the bombs and takes everyone out with him besides David. As a final token, David takes Maine's arm as a way to remember him. We get this visual scene of David in the car driving back to base with Maine's arm. We see how heavy the shock is of what just happened. we just see him staring off to space like he just witnessed something very traumatic, which he did. He even cries a little. This death hits especially hard for fans because Maine acted like David's father, even though David's father wasn't even in his life. But watching him succumb to the insanity from the cyberware was very hard to watch because of how much we cherish this character for taking David in. For the next couple of episodes, we don't have any death, but we do see how David starts taking Maine's spot as the group leader. David has more cyberware added to him and also has Maine's arm now as a token from him. We see him more mature and more like an adult. This transformation gives the viewer to having a legacy passed down from Maine to David. Then later in the episode, we see David and Lucy talking on a couple of rocks as we get Lucy's backstory. Lucy was once a child slave for Arasaka Corporation, diving into the deep web to help find missing parts of their corporation. It was a very dangerous job, and many other kids would die from it. They managed to escape from it, and that's how we have her now. After the whole Maine incident, she also became more enclosed and stopped going on deep dives for the crew. She's protecting David by erasing any data Arasaka has on him. By doing this, she is stopping them from making him into a weapon. Then in the next episode, we see David start to succumb to cyberpsychosis, and he kills someone that looked a lot like his mom, which started making him question all the people that he just killed. This is the beginning of the downfall that we see Maine went down to. He infiltrated Arasaka building, and the mom also had a picture of her son, like David's mom did. Then he passes out, which Lucy takes him to the doctor for. As a viewer, we start getting a big sense of dread because we've seen what has happened before with Maine. Now we know David is going down the same path. After the visit from the doctor, he goes on a monologue about how many people he has killed, asking himself whether or not it was all worth it. Lucy has to go deal with something as she gets captured by a false run. We see Kiwi turn her in, which was a big surprise for many viewers. We saw her as a trusted member from how many missions that she was on, but now she betrayed the family for money. It adds another layer of pain for what comes next in Cyberpunk. Then in the next episode, we see Faraday give David's crew another mission to steal some high-tech weapons. We know that Kiwi's a spy now, but they do not know yet. It makes it harder for us to watch as we see Kiwi play dumb. David starts tweaking because of all the cyberware that adds to him, and he makes Rebecca promise to bring him back if he ever went over the edge. Then we get a cut back to Faraday talking about how his plan's going well and how Arasaka will have a new weapon, that is David. This brings the viewer a more sinister look into how David's life is going to end. See him getting set up by someone who he trusted enough to take missions from. This adds another layer of cruelty to Cyberpunk's universe. After David takes on the cyber skeleton, we see Kiwi's betrayal as he takes out an entire squad of military. But we start to see him slowly go insane, even more so than before because of how much strain the cyber skeleton takes on his body. We get new hope that our heroes can come save the day with the newfound power that they have. As David goes to Arasaka Tower to get Lucy back, we see him destroy tons and tons of military vehicles and people. With this, we also see David start to have flashbacks about his mom. There was a quiet moment in the middle of the episode where he talks about how he'll climb to the very top for his mom. We see David that's changed from the beginning of the series to the end, from the street kid to the one leading the members of the underground world. With this, we start to understand his deep love and appreciation for his mom through this one scene, as he still holds on to her. Kiwi ends up being killed by Faraday at the end, which was very fitting for betraying him. But before Kiwi dies, she gives David a coronation to go find Lucy, which is Arasaka Tower. David reaches Arasaka Tower, and we see him happening to the flashbacks where he talks about his mom and how he reached the top when he does. He goes to Arasaka Tower, grabs Lucy, and takes her out as he's fighting Atom Smasher on the way out. Atom Smasher is basically the John Wick of this universe. Then, as David takes Lucy down from all the way from the top, we see Rebecca just get pummeled by Atom Smasher when he falls on top of her. Lucy and Falco make their escape as David stays behind to slow Atom Smasher. And at the end, Falco tells Lucy that to split the money and to go follow her dream, to go to the moon. As David's getting torn apart, we get a recap of his story, seeing how he got accepted into the group, how his mom died, then a montage of how each and every one of the Edge Runners died. At the end of the episode, we see Lucy on the moon as David wanted her to be. We get this traumatic flashback of David on the moon when Lucy took her in for a deep dive. Then the show ends. It's stuff they've been through together throughout many episodes. But when it comes to Cyberpunk, they did it in such a short time. I think that's what makes it so good. Because of how short time that they had to make us love the characters, I think that's what shows that the writing is so good. That the writing did not need a long time for it to develop so that we can love the characters more. That they just got straight to the point and we did not have to have so many fillers, such as in Naruto. I was rewatching the show for this project, and I still felt the pain of the characters dying. Even though I knew they were going to die, I've seen the scenes, I've seen TikToks about it, it still hurt in a way I couldn't explain. This is why Cyberpunk is such a great show. A lot of people see Cyberpunk as super sad and depressing, which it is, but I think that because of how sad it is, that it proves it's a good show. For example, we want to watch something, we want to feel something, we want to see the story plot develop, and throughout the winter season get attached to these characters. But with Cyberpunk's short amount of time and making so many people cry over it, I think proves that it was well written. Through these different attributes, this is why Cyberpunk is such a great series and is so much better than the other animes of today. The show draws you in and makes you feel sympathy for characters that objectively are bad people, but you still feel sad for them. What makes it so special is that the feeling that they incite the viewer that watches it. With other shows, you cannot do it with such a short period of time. But when it comes to Cyberpunk, they did it so quickly that it makes you feel sort of sad there ain't more. Whenever you watch a show, you want to have like a feeling from it, whether it's joy or sorrow or whatever else that you want to feel. That's why Cyberpunk did so well in that department. Because watching us have so much sadness means that we actually cared for the characters and that we took our time to watch it and understand it. And then another way how Cyberpunk makes us enjoy the show is through the reflex of today's world, through the mega corporations, and showing us how dystopian the world can get if we let ourselves go. Now, another way how Cyberpunk is super great is how it does not glorify these sort of villains, because in David's situation, they were objectively bad people. But we saw how that ended with his death, which was super sad to watch. The sequel that is why Cyberpunk is such a good show to watch and why it's better than the other animes of today. It was only 10 episodes long, and compared to Naruto, where they had a lot of filler, Cyberpunk